which is today spoken by the Quiche people in Guatemala. In 1554 AD, it tells a story from 3 Mayan Indians. A translator was able to decipher the story. Now in the story, the Mayans said that they were the descendants of some of the 10 tribes of Israel that were exiled under the Assyrian king Shalmaneser. While in Assyria, they decided to leave and emigrate to a different land. Some were left behind, but some made it. Now the text read in the Mayan language, "These then were 3 nations of Quiches, and they came from where the sun rises in the east, descendants of Israel, of the same language and the same customs." Now what is interesting is that the Mayans say that they are the sons of Yaqui. And the Aztecs and Mayans say that when they were forced to leave Israel, or Tulan, they traveled south to the sea and then to the ocean. Now, based off of direct study of the Native American Indians and ancient books such as Ills in America, or Probabilities that the Americans are of that race, written in 1650 AD by Thomas Thorogood, many Europeans believe that the Indians were descendants of the Northern Kingdom Israelites who were displaced by the Assyrian king Shalmaneser. Old accounts of stories told by the Native Indians describe their people as Israelites who left Israel during the reign of the Israelite king Hosea in the 8th century BC. But this is not the only thing that they describe. Native Indians were known, according to the Jesuits, Sephardic Gentile Jews, the Mormons, and other Europeans, to exhibit the following Hebrew traditions. They performed their camp or people's division into tribes, such as the Israelites. Now, some of the tribes also wrote from right to left, just as in the Hebrew script. They followed 2 to 3 wheat harvests in 1 year. They didn't swear or take oaths. They didn't drink or commit adultery, and they believed in the Oracle Covenant. They also had an Ark of Bulderuth, which was similar to the Ark of the Covenant. The tabernacle was carried by 4 priests only, and they pitched a tent facing the east. And they called their aunts and uncles mother and father, which is seen in West Africa today. And they had cleanliness laws where women on their menses or after childbirth had to be set apart for 7 days, and on the 8th day they were able to come back to the village. They did not eat pork, and as in the Hebrew levirate marriage, the widow had to marry the brother of the deceased husband. Their circumcision was performed with stone knives, as in the Hebrew culture, and the Indians believed in Hades, or a great pit for sinners, which they call Pap Gufo. And the Indians wore vestments similar to the Aaronical robes of the high priest, and the first fruits were offered, such as corn, meat, and fish. They observed the year of Jubilee, which is seen in the Hebrew culture, and they uttered the word Hallelujah. The temple was where the Indians worshiped. They sang and prayed and made offerings. And their worship of Yahuwah was known throughout many Indian tribes. Their notions of a theocracy was also seen, and they had a belief in the administration of angels. Their language and dialect showed a Hebrew influence, and they had the same manner of counting time as many of the ancient Hebrews. In the village, they had prophets, high priests, and a king hierarchy, and their divination rites were similar to the Aaronical high priesthood. Now, the Udo-Aztecan family consists of many different Indian tribes. Semitic linguistic experts in Arabic, Aramaic, and Hebrew all have agreed that Hebrew and Egyptian can be found in the native Indians' dialect of the Udo-Aztecan speakers. However, the truth is often suppressed of this knowledge to the outside world. Here are some of the tribes in the Udo-Aztecan family who still retain evidence of their Hebrew ancestry in the language. Now let's clear some things up about the Hebrew language seen in different cultures today. prior to 1948, the Ashkenazi European Jews spoke Yiddish, which is rooted in the Germanic, Slavic, and Turkish languages. Now, these three languages have their roots in Eastern Europe and Central Asia.